It's a great day, and please welcome to the desk someone you are going to see in just a couple of weeks, going about 200 miles an hour, just shy of 200 miles an hour in Newton at the Iowa Speedway. IndyCar driver James Jakes is joining us. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You have a busy day today because you're going to be going at hyperspeed at Iowa Speedway in just a couple of weeks. On the 17th and 18th is when the IndyCars are going to be there. But he was driving something a little different earlier today. Check this out. We have him as he's getting strapped in to his latest vehicle. Tell everybody what you were doing. It was over at WHO Radio.
It was, yeah. I was just looking at my tweets, actually. Everybody said that I was not looking too happy about being on it, but I just didn't want to break it because the guy obviously...
Break it?
Yeah, it's his little gem and obviously antiques. So, but it was cool. I haven't done 14 miles an hour in a while. So
It's the Iowa tractor
nice
ride.
to be back.
Is that your first tractor?
It is. It was the first one I've ever driven. So it's where I grew up in England is actually in the north of England, quite similar, a lot of farming culture and all that stuff. So I guess it was nice to check it out. It was cool.
Well, how did they talk you into doing this?
I didn't. I just woke up this morning and
They say you got to come over.
So guess what you get to do?
Now, you've been at the Iowa Speedway a couple of times,
Yep.
and what do you think of that place?
It's an awesome track. It's obviously the fastest short track in the world, and bringing IndyCar there is a really cool experience. We just raced in California, then we go to Milwaukee, and then we come to Iowa. So the series is buzzing right now. We have some great drivers, and I think we'll put on a great show for you guys. Yeah,
of course, all eyes are fixed on Indy cars for the Indianapolis 500. We have some footage of James at the Indy 500 in his qualifying run, the 2.5-mile oval in Indianapolis, as we can take a look there. And just watching this yesterday, I'll tell you what, my wife was noticing how little your hands move and how steady you were.
Yeah, you set the car up so it turns on its own. If you actually let go of the wheel, it will turn to the left. So you kind of, I know it sounds nuts, but you kind of want to let go of the wheel slightly, then the car will turn in on its own. So
now, speaking of
so
sound,
is it harder to keep it straight then than it is to turn?
That's why you see a lot of the guys with the offset where the hands are actually to the right on the straight, so when they're in the corner they get level.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Now, something else we didn't know, you said the sound. It sounds crazy. The sound of the motor sounds like you never took your foot off the accelerator.
You never really. It wasn't a perfect run then. We were a little bit too loose, but no, you're wide open for the whole 4 laps.
And that's over at Indianapolis. But what about here at Iowa Speedway?
Here you're wide. If you got a good car, you'll be.
You're wide open?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
It's great, yeah. Especially this year with the higher downforce and stuff. In qualifying, you're definitely wide open, and in the race, you're trying to get, I would say, halfway through the stint. The stint's probably going to be about 40 laps, so 20-25 laps, you'll be full power all the way around.
Now, you grew up in northern England, which would make me think that you grew up watching Formula One. What was your first exposure to Indy cars?
My first exposure was back in 2011 when I did my first race in St. Pete, and I spent a lot of time in the States. I'd never been to Iowa before, but my first trip was when I came for the first race, and yeah, just got hooked on the series. Never driven oval racing, but I love it. It's the easiest way to describe it to a fan is like playing a video game. It's awesome. When you have a good car, it's amazing. It's so much fun. But when you have a bad car, it's like the worst.
How much fun was it in Fontana just this past weekend? Because you guys were 4 and 5 wide. We showed that on Monday morning, and we know we showed the results here. We had you you finished 7th. You started 23rd. You finished 7th. In the event, there's the results from Monday morning race review. But you work for a very interesting cat. You work for Sam Schmidt. He's a really, really cool individual. And this guy here, we talked to him yesterday, knowing that you guys were coming and helped us get the videos for you. And at first, he seemed like he was a little hesitant to talk because I'm guessing dollar signs are running through his head because your teammate had an unfortunate incident yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good race in California. Actually, we had to start at the back because we had an engine failure, so it's been a tough break for the team over the past couple of weeks. And then obviously Hinch's crash at Indy put him out, and then another crash.
Yeah, here's what we're talking about. We showed this yesterday.
Crash, yeah.
Ryan Briscoe.
Oh, that was your teammate.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Wow.
So,
but the fact that happened and he was completely
he was fine.
Yeah, we have an in-car coming up here in a second. I want to thank IndyCar for helping us get the video for this. We were able to gather this right after the race was over.
Came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Now watch this.
that is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a testament to the cars. You know, the DW12, obviously after Danwell, then it's a very strong chassis, and it was a similar case with Hinch's accident in Indy. You know, 20 years ago we wouldn't have walked away from these accidents.
True. But you guys are going to be in action coming up 17th and 18th. That's the weekend. The ARCA guys are back in town for the. You know, it's been a while since they've been here. But then the IndyCar is the big event going to be happening on the 18th. So.
Yep, the race is on the 18th. I think it's green flag at 6 o'clock. So it's. If you've not got your tickets, go get them. Come check it out.
Now, when you have a crash like that, you watch the broadcast and they say, "Well, he's unhurt." Like, are you really unhurt? I mean, do you feel that the next day?
Oh yeah, the next day your adrenaline takes over. Kind of. You generally 9 times out of 10 you get a bit winded, and it's always kind of awkward because the team are on the radio saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And you're there trying to get your breath. Like, "Oh, yeah, just give me like 30 seconds. So, but yeah, you saw the next day. You always are going to be. But it's just like any other sport. Whether you say a lot of people compare it to jockeys. You know, they fall off all the time and have serious injuries, and it's just like getting back on a horse, and you just got to go for it.
I've only been in these cars once. Lou got me into one of the 2-seaters a couple years ago. And what I found was the G-forces were almost unbearable, that I almost couldn't lift my head up, and you have to keep your abs so tight the whole time you're in the car. I mean, you have to be in really good shape to do this, don't you?
Yeah, we spend like 2 months before the season prepping like boxers. We were just talking about that. You have to do it. You know, it's if you won't have a great race yourself, but you're also putting other drivers' lives at risk if you're not in good shape and you can't handle the car properly. So it's a big part of our regime is fitness training, and that's why we spend so much time in the gym. But the G-forces, and then you've got all the tools in the car. You're listening to the spotter and the team. So there's a lot going on.
So you're going to be going 300 laps.
Yep.
At the Iowa Speedway coming up here in just a couple of weeks. So that whole time you're in a full body clinch.
More or less, yeah. It's you try and relax as much as possible. It generally, if you tense up, that's when kind of things go wrong. If you've done everything you need to do before the race, prep-wise, you're usually in good shape.
You get to go down the backstretch and just let your hands relax for a second, right? And then grab it again, grab the steering wheel.
At Indy, you generally do that. At Iowa, it's too short. So it's literally like being in a fishbowl at nearly 200 miles an hour.
But fun.
It's awesome.
So what do you prefer, 12 to 14 miles per hour on a tractor, or 200 miles an hour
well,
in an IndyCar? I
was delayed last night. I didn't get in until 1:30 a.m. So 14 miles an hour was fine for me. 6:30.
But you'll be ready to go in a couple of weeks.
Yep, I'll be ready to go.
Perfect. James, a pleasure meeting you, man. Thank you for coming over. Again, IndyCar race at Iowa Speedway, just a couple of weeks away. 17th and 18th is when you want to head over there and see this man. Number 7, correct?
That's me.
That's him. Go cheer for number 7. We'll be right back. You're watching Great Day Live.